Huh? Dude, I hate OBS so much. Oh my god. Okay. Boop, 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 boop. Let me get a thumbnail on this bad boy. Just because OBS sucks. Alright. Let me do a few things, and then we'll get started. Alright. Take number 7,000. Oops. Okay. I'm not going to bother posting to the YouTube community post or my Twitter again, just because... Alright. Let me do these real quick. Okay. I'll pull up chat. Hi, Joey. Sorry, long story short, OBS stinks, and I just wanted to get a new stream going. So yeah. OBS sucks. That's the gist of it. Let me pull this up. So we'll give it another minute or something, see if anyone from the old stream pops up. Just because I know I made like 20 today because of OBS. Yeah. So a few... What was I going to say? We do have a few things to do today. Hopefully, we'll see. Obviously, the theories... Not theories. I'm still thinking about the theories tier list. The timeline is the main thing. Also, I have the security hat because I'm chopped. Yeah. So we'll give it another minute or so. See who shows, who doesn't. Yeah. Hopefully. I mean, this is like the normal time we stream, so. Hi, Club Penguin. See, now they're starting to show up. How are you guys doing today? Appreciate you for coming out. I know I don't know if you guys got like, did you get notifications for like the old streams I did? Because like they showed up as like premieres on here. So I don't know. It's behind us now. I think we're good. Hi, Backyard. Hello again. Deja vu. Yeah, okay. So, we'll give it about another minute, and then there's 3 things I want to attempt to do today. You didn't? Okay, that's good. Yeah, there's 3 things I want to hopefully do today. First is obviously go through my timeline. I made a slideshow of it. Usually you reload your homepage. Makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, I want to go through the timeline. We also have to check the theories tier list, because I do think it updated 2 days ago. And then I also want to try to make a page for a theory on the theories wiki, but we'll see if we get to that. I don't know. It depends. Yeah. Really, you're friends with iDeck in real life? It's a small world. Tell him that Bernie Bear says he hopes he feels better. Yeah. Alright. Let's just begin, I guess. Do you guys care what I start with? Because I mean, I feel like we should start with the timeline. But I feel like I might just want to knock out the theories tier list just right out the bat. Oh, he told you about your streams? About my streams? That's cool. You met him in school. Damn, it is a small world. Yeah, I mean, I guess we can do the timeline first. I'm not quite sure how this is going to work, but we'll try it anyway. Alright, so. Here it is. I know my face cam's there. Should I turn off face cam for this? Just because... Actually, do I even know how? Yeah. Should I turn off face cam for this? Just so you guys can see the whole slide, or should I keep it? I'll obviously be narrating everything. Yeah? Okay, we'll try it. We haven't tried something like that before. You guys don't have to see my chopped face anyway, so we'll try it. And I still have chat open. You guys still can't hear me, so... Alright. Let's pause the music. Maybe get on some Vanta Black. You don't really care? If you don't care, I don't care. Alright. Let's begin. The Bernie Bear, 5 Nights at Timeline. I messed it up already. The Bernie Bear, 5 Nights at Freddy's Timeline. These notes are old. We can just skip past those. Starting off in 1970, William Afton and Henry Emily create Fazbear Entertainment and Fall Fest, a seasonal Halloween event featuring games, attractions, and a variety of characters. William will eventually have 3 children, Michael, Garrett, and Elizabeth. Henry has a daughter named Charlotte. There are 2 characters at Fall Fest who stand out among the rest, a brown bear named Freddy, and a blue bunny named Bonnie. The characters at Fall Fest are represented in one of 2 ways, as mascot suits for performers to wear, or animatronics that can perform. Yeah, it's okay if you just want to sit back and watch. We'll give thoughts after. In the 1970s, Fredbear's Family Diner is opened by Fazbear Entertainment. Edwin Murray and Fiona Murray run Murray's Costume Manor and have a son named David. Also, I did skip over some details just so this isn't 50 slides long. Fiona ends up dying in a fire at Fall Fest, resulting in Edwin having to raise David on his own. Edwin builds M1, who ends up mimicking Fiona. David is unfortunately ran over, and Edwin begins building M2 to mimic David, but stops. M1, now F10N4, convinces Edwin to finish it. Edwin beats M2 after it mimics David, teaching it violence. M2 attacks Edwin, and Edwin goes missing. Fazbear Entertainment wants to claim M2 and its schematics. In September of 1979, Fazbear Entertainment sends Arnold to the abandoned MCM facility to retrieve M2's schematics. Arnold retrieves the schematics and ends up burning down MCM from inside Edwin's house. M2 chases Arnold, and he's able to get into his van and escape. That is, until M2 crashes the van, steals the schematics, and leaves Arnold to die. It is unknown what happens next. In 1983, Fazbear Entertainment expands to create Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Garrett mistakes an employee at Fredbear's Family Diner being suited up as a murderer. Michael bullies him for this, leading to the day of Garrett's birthday party, where Michael puts him in the mouth of Fredbear as a prank. Fredbear bites down on Garrett's head, causing a fatal injury. Michael apologizes to his brother on his deathbed. The Aftons move out into the woods, into Edwin's old home. William gets drunk one night and drives to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, where he finds Charlotte locked out of the building by bullies. He kills Charlie and speeds off. The security puppet crawls out next to Charlotte's dead body, fusing her soul to the animatronic. Also, yeah, we did skip over this, but I call Bite Victim Garrett in this just, because we don't have a confirmed name, it's the closest we have. William returns home to find that Michael has ran away. He punishes Michael by placing him in experiment chambers with hallucinogenic gas. Welcome back, Folger. William punishes Michael. Wait, we just read that. Noticing the security puppet is possessed, William experiments with Garrett's soul, accidentally shattering it in the process. Yeah, it's fine that you're late, Folger. I'm just glad you're here. Michael is let out of the chambers, as William now wants to experiment on more children. Fredbear's Family Diner closes. Probably should have moved that up forward, but it's whatever. In 1985, William opens Circus Baby's Pizza World to gather test subjects for his experiments. On the day of a test party, Elizabeth is left alone with Baby, who grabs her into her stomach hatch. Baby malfunctions, with Elizabeth dying inside of her and causing her to possess the animatronic. Circus Baby's Pizza World closes, and William, now aware of possession, wants to recreate it. He kills a kid named Andrew as a test run, with his body being hidden in the ball pit at Freddy's. Andrew attaches his spirit to William, which will be important later. Wearing the Spring Bonnie suit, William gains the trust of 5 kids in Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, luring them to the safe room. The victims get stuffed into the animatronics, where they die. The spirits of the children, stuffed inside the suits, are given pieces of Garrett's shattered soul by the puppet as they come to possess the suits they died inside of. Freddy Fazbear's Pizza closes. Freddy Fazbear's Pizza reopens in 1987, with the old animatronics being retired for new toy animatronics. William returns to the location and kills another 5 kids, who go on to possess the toy animatronics. Rumors about the event spread as Jeremy Fitzgerald works his first week as the night guard. The location closes, with one final party being held. Jeremy is moved to the day shift and is instructed to stay close to the animatronics. Jeremy gets bit by Mangle, causing the toys to get scrapped. Freddy Fazbear's reopens one final time in 1993, with the withered animatronics being reverted back to their classic looks. Ralph is working his last week on the job and records phone messages for his replacement. Unfortunately, he's killed before he can finish his week. Michael Afton, under the name Mike Schmidt, is Ralph's replacement. While working at Freddy's, Mike is given nightmares by Shadow Freddy of his time in the experiments. Mike is able to overcome these nightmares, but gets fired from Freddy's, and the place closes soon after. Forgot I added this image. In the 2000s, William has another daughter, Vanessa. He manipulates her into giving a fake testimony in court that results in her mom taking her own life and granting him full custody. William returns to the FNAF 1 location to collect the endoskeletons of the animatronics. He melts them down into Remnant and injects it into the Funtime animatronics. They begin to act hostile, so he instructs Michael to go down to the bunker and put Elizabeth back together. Side note, I have no idea why William would want Elizabeth put back together, but whatever. William returns for the Spring Bonnie suit, but ends up getting spring-locked and trapped in the safe room. In the year 2015, Michael works as a technician at Circus Baby's Entertainment and Rental. She leads Michael astray during his week on the job, all while the Funtime animatronics combine to form Ennard. Ennard scoops Michael's insides out and wears him like a skin suit. Over the course of a few days, Michael's body rots, causing Ennard to flee into the sewers. However, Michael is brought back to life via Remnant, vowing to find his father. Circus Baby / Elizabeth is ejected outside of Ennard after they have a falling out. She rebuilds herself as Scrap Baby, while Ennard becomes Molten Freddy, with Funtime Freddy now in charge. In the year 2021, Oswald is bored during the summer, and he hangs out at Jeff's Pizza, which used to be Freddy's before it closed. Which used to be Freddy's, and now it's Jeff's. He decides to play a prank on his dad and go into the old ball pit, which takes him into an agony memory of 1985. The yellow rabbit shows him the 6 dead children killed by William. Oswald escapes, but his dad is taken and replaced by the yellow rabbit. Oswald returns to the pit, rescues his dad, and kills the yellow rabbit. In 2023, don't question why I put Phantom Bonnie there. Fazbear's Fright opens. Michael gets a job working there, and a few days in, Springtrap is brought into the building, alongside the Phantoms. After a few nights, Michael burns the place down to try to kill his father. Unfortunately, William survives, albeit heavily damaged. William repairs himself with old Spring Bonnie suit parts. Henry now decides to finally end the horrors once and for all, creating Lefty to capture the puppet. He also creates a fake pizzeria. Well, it's a real pizzeria. He creates a pizzeria to lure in the remaining animatronics. Michael ends up running this location. He salvages the animatronics, bringing them together in one place. Once they're all there, Henry burns the place down. Michael, Henry, and Elizabeth are all set free. William is heavily weakened, but not dead due to Andrew keeping him alive. Charlie hasn't moved on because of this, and the MCI victims are still around too. Henry is now officially on Fraud Watch. We're now in the 2020s. From here, we don't really get that many explicitly confirmed dates or years, so it's a lot more vague. Cassidy enters Afton's mind to get Andrew to let their killer die. Now, this is something I probably should have gone into more depth on, but Andrew's sense of justice differs from Cassidy's. Cassidy believes in an eye for an eye, whereas Andrew thinks, if you wronged me, I'm going to make your punishment 10 times worse, which is why he keeps Afton alive in a never-ending nightmare. Andrew ignores Cassidy, and she meets with Old Man Consequences. OMC tells her to rest and join the others so they can all move on. She does this, and the MCI spirits, along with Garrett, have their happiest day. Afton's body is also found and moved into Heracle's hospital. Fazbear Entertainment hires Steve Snodgrass to create indie games based on the events in Fazbear's past. These games are the real FNAF games that we have and play in real life. I know this is somewhat controversial, but just because they're games doesn't mean the events don't happen. The events all happen the exact same. A VR game begins development under Silver Parasol Games. To speed up development, circuit boards from M2 are sent in and scanned. M2, now a virus inside the game, mimics William Afton, taking on the persona of Glitchtrap. Glitchtrap tries to merge with beta tester Jeremy, but fails. Another beta tester, Tape Girl, leaves logs detailing the development of the game before it gets transferred to another studio. Vanessa, who works for this studio, gets infected with Glitchtrap's virus, becoming Vanny. Fazbear Entertainment ends up opening a ton of new locations, including a distribution center. William is brought to the distribution center and explodes, sending his and Andrew's agony into various objects. Eleanor, a being made out of agony, who's hiding in the corner, sneaky, siphons the negative emotions from people who come in contact with these objects. Jake, a young boy battling cancer, succumbs to his illness, possessing his Simon doll. This doll, as well as the battery pack of Fetch, an animatronic dog who houses most of Andrew's soul, are used to create the Stitch Wraith, who then goes around collecting the agony-infected objects. The Stitch Wraith brings the agony-infected objects to a trash compactor to destroy them. However, the objects all come together to form a giant 15 feet tall creature of pure agony possessed by William Afton. Detective Larson, who has been following the case of the Stitch Wraith, opens a bag containing the puppet's mask, which turns into the full puppet and lunges at Afton. She rips apart Afton, and they both sink to the bottom of the lake, finally moving on. Andrew is also set free thanks to Jake. Jake is now alone in the Stitch Wraith. He ends up being tricked by Eleanor into bringing her to a man named Dr. Talbert who studies Remnant. Eleanor wants Remnant so she can grow her power. Thankfully, Larson and Jake defeat Eleanor. Jake, now almost out of power, goes to the ball pit where Eleanor's victims' spirits reside. He enters each spirit's agony prison and turns them into happy memories before he rests his own soul. Back to Fazbear Entertainment. They've begun construction of the Mega Pizzaplex, on top of where the Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria Simulator location was. M2 is sent to this pizzeria, and kills almost all of the construction workers. It ends up being sealed in the location after killing a group of teens. I'm not gonna lie, Joey, I forgot FNAF World. Realistically, I think it's during Ultimate Custom Night, but I did forget that. The Mega Pizzaplex opens in May of 2030. A boy named Gregory gets his mind taken over by Glitchtrap, presumably because of the Balloon World arcade machine. The Fazbear Entertainment Board of Directors discuss the creation of the Storyteller Tree. Edwin, who has returned to the company, is against this. However, the Storyteller is built. The Glamrock animatronics, which are connected to the Storyteller's program, begin acting differently. Edwin investigates the Storyteller and finds out it's running on M2's code. Edwin sneaks into the tree, but gets trapped inside and dies. The Storyteller ends up being taken down. Fazbear Entertainment then creates the Fazbear Funtime service to ship out animatronics to people's homes. Vanessa infects these animatronics with Glitchtrap, turning them evil. Posing as a tech for Fazbear Entertainment, Vanessa manages to access the Mega Pizzaplex's systems and gives Glitchtrap full control. Vanny creates her white rabbit suit, and then Tony, who's one of Gregory's friends, investigates a mysterious GGY in the Pizzaplex. He finds out that Gregory is actually GGY, as well as being behind the disappearances of multiple counselors. Gregory invites Tony to the Mega Pizzaplex, where he uses the animatronics to kill him for getting way too close to the truth. Fazbear Entertainment, in the year 2035, holds a mandatory all-staff meeting where they kill all of their human employees, replacing them with staff bots. Vanny clears a path down to the pizzeria where the Mimic is, and she turns it into Burn Trap. Gregory is somehow freed from Glitch Trap's control, and Glamrock Freddy spots Gregory during a stage performance, causing him to crash. Gregory hides inside Freddy's stomach hatch, staying after hours, and not remembering his time under Glitch Trap's control. Freddy tries to help Gregory escape the Pizzaplex, but Gregory ends up finding and playing 3 Princess Quest arcade cabinets, which free Vanessa from Glitch Trap's control. Vanessa, Gregory, and Freddy's head leave the Pizzaplex come morning. The Tangle, who is a being made out of the agony of M2's victims, tunnels out from beneath the Pizzaplex, creating a giant sinkhole in Roxy Raceway. Fazbear Entertainment tries to repair the building, but ends up abandoning it. Vanessa and Gregory return to trap M2, who has shed the Burn Trap identity. They're successfully able to trap M2 in a room beneath the Pizzaplex before going off the grid. Jeremy, from Silver Parasol Games, enters the FNAF 6 location to try to stop Glitch Trap, but ends up being killed and trapped in the VR world with no memory of how he got there. Jeremy, being guided by Helpy/Glitch Trap, collects Faz Force figures, which rebuild his memory of how he got there. Vanessa, appearing as Mystic Hippo and Vanny, guides Jeremy to collect memory dolls of Afton's victims, which make up Glitch Trap. Once all the memories have been collected, Jeremy is able to play Princess Quest 4 before making it to Vanny and handing over Glitch Trap. Vanny crushes Glitch Trap, killing him once and for all, before waving goodbye to Jeremy, who remains trapped in the virtual world. M2 contacts Cassie, Gregory's best friend, to come to the Mega Pizzaplex. Once she gets there, M2 tells her that Gregory is trapped under the sinkhole. Cassie navigates the ruined Pizzaplex using the Vanny mask, before making it to the sinkhole and freeing M2. It almost kills her, before Roxy jumps in and saves Cassie. The real Gregory contacts Cassie and guides her to an old elevator. Someone, either M2 or Gregory, drops the elevator, with Cassie inside. To be continued. What do we think, chat? What do we think? The golden thing from FNAF and the... Oh, that's the, I'm assuming you're talking about the princess? Also is my... Yeah, I'm assuming you're talking about the princess? Maybe? So tough? Thank you, Joey. Thank you. Yeah. I'm pretty proud of this. Thank you, Fulgur. Thank you, Club Penguin. I like this. Obviously, there's details I didn't go into as much as I do in my actual timeline, but for condensing a 95-page Google Doc into less than 30 slides, I think we did pretty good. I think we did pretty good. Yeah. It's so tough. Thank you. So let me know if there's like anything you guys want me to go more into detail on, like stuff that I mentioned that you guys like don't agree with, or you do, or you just want me to go more in detail to. I tried to go in as detailed as possible, but again, I wanted to keep this somewhat short, so. What's FNAF World? So, yeah, I can go more in detail in this period. Perhaps I don't go past it. So, FNAF World, in my opinion, I think FNAF World is like this meta realm where the real world of FNAF crosses with our real world through the flip side, right? I think the events of FNAF World happen simultaneously with Ultimate Custom Night, right? Probably Cassidy. Like, it... Maybe not simultaneously. Before Cassidy enters Ultimate Custom Night to try to get Andrew to move on, she probably goes through all of FNAF World, setting up the pieces for Bite Victim to find. He finds them. Happiest Day can now happen. But before that, Cassidy tries to get Andrew to rest with them, but fails. Then she goes into Happiest Day. Then it happens. That's my interpretation of it. And Ultimate Custom Night is just a nightmare happening. Not nightmare, but like, it takes place in William's mind. So it's essentially a nightmare. Yeah. Pit Bonnie being Shadow Bonnie and Nightmare being Shadow Freddy. So, I don't think Pit Bonnie is Shadow Bonnie. But I do think Nightmare is Shadow Freddy. Hence why I include him on this slide. So, in the files of FNAF 4, the night where you face off against Nightmare in the extras menu is called Shadow Freddy in the files. And some of Nightmare's voice lines from Ultimate Custom Night imply that he's working for William Afton, which lines up with Shadow Freddy, and how he says, like, follow me, and he helps William in the FNAF 3 cutscenes. So I do think these two are the same, but Pit Bonnie I don't think is Shadow Freddy. I think obviously he's not Shadow Freddy. I don't think he's Shadow Bonnie. I think Shadow Bonnie is an agony creature who was created from the FNAF 2 murders. And I think he's a helpful spirit, whereas I think there are two halves. Oh, that's actually a good supporting theory for something I'm working on. I think Shadow Freddy is a bad spirit. Shadow Bonnie is a not spirit. I think they're both agony creatures, but Shadow Freddy's bad, Shadow Bonnie's good. The 2035 slide, yes. So this slide is basically, like, these are all before Security Breach. These are Security Breach. I think, obviously, the Princess Quest ending is the canon ending. And this is just me trying to, like, fly through the events of Security Breach. Yeah, so this is just Security Breach. It's pretty good, pretty straightforward. Interesting you include the Stitch, Wraith, and Tails, as most places on YouTube. Yeah, I should talk about the books. This is probably the most controversial thing I mention in my timeline. I view the books as secondary canon. That is, they are canon until the games directly override them. Case in point, Secret of the Mimic. Secret of the Mimic directly overrides the Mimic. It also somewhat overrides the Storyteller. I fudged some of the details to make it fit better. A lot of franchises do secondary canon. Like Star Wars, for example, I think is a big one. The movies are at the top of the hierarchy. Whatever they say goes. Next up is like the shows and stuff like that. They have canon information, but if they're overwritten by the games, that's just how it is. I think the same's for FNAF. I think the games are at the top of the pyramid, followed by the books. The books, like Tales and stuff, and Frights, are canon to the games, but if the games override them, like Into the Pit or the Mimic, whatever the games say goes. And the books, yeah, Club Penguin, the books do confirm a lot. They confirm Gregory is Patient 46. They tell us what the heck is going on in the FNAF 4 experiments. What else? They tell us about the indie games and who made those. And they tell us what happens after Ultimate Custom Night. Granted, not all of the stories are important, especially in Frights, but they do have important stories that are canon. Yeah, that's really it. One of the kitties sneezed. Yeah, everything else I think is pretty straightforward. I didn't go into detail on like the pre-Secret of the Mimic stuff, just because I don't think it's that necessary. Like, I didn't mention Edwin's dad. I didn't mention Chica's party world. But yeah, most of the important stuff's here. Yeah. Although I did notice I said Charlie instead of Charlotte somewhere. I should probably fix that. When's the last time you changed your profile picture? A long time ago. Yeah. It's been a minute. It's been a minute. Yeah, we got through the timeline faster than I thought, which I don't think is a bad thing, because I do plan to do other stuff like I mentioned earlier. So yeah, I'm glad this didn't take too long. Yeah. Well, if you guys don't have any more thoughts on the timeline, I think we move on to the second thing I have planned for today, which is going to be updating the theories tier list, because, yeah. Oh, yeah. Backyard. Yeah, so the interactive novels, I do think, are, without a doubt, canon to the game's timeline. The week before makes that very clear. Yeah. Into the Pit is where it gets confusing, because we have an interactive novel and a game. The way I see it, I think the general story of Into the Pit is canon to the games. In those different retellings of the story, the interactive novel, the game, the original, the graphic novel, they all bring in elements that work for the story of Into the Pit, right? So the game has, like, mini-games and other Fazbear Frights connections that the original story doesn't have, but those connections are canon. Return to the Pit gives us a lot of rules about the ball pit. That's canon to the story. Obviously, the original story has the basis for the story, and the graphic novel supports it taking place in 2021. That's how I see it. Charlie or Charlotte? I just called her Charlotte because the movie calls her Charlotte. Obviously, Charlie works, but like I just called her Charlotte just because. Got it, teacher. I understand FNAF. You all passed. You all passed with flying colors. Yeah, alright. Moving on. Let's update the theories tier list. This shouldn't take too long. I need to make sure I didn't add any more. Yeah, last updated January 6th. Yeah. We're gonna do this if it loads. Okay. BB, also we're not. Yeah, okay. BB, CB, PW. Yes, you all passed. This theory states that Balloon Boy was originally at Circus Baby's Pizza World. There's nothing that debunks this. I actually really like that. I think he fits in with that aesthetic a lot. So it's not debunked by any means. We just don't have enough evidence for it, so I'm just going to put it 50-50. I do like that idea a lot, honestly. It just doesn't have evidence. Caution MRI. So the MRI stands for Missing Residence Incident. This theory states that the victims we see in the homeless ending of Security Breach, their spirits are inside the wet floor bots. Now, I say this because in Ruin, in the debug menu, the amount of wet floor bots you deactivate is called souls freed, or something souls. So this one makes sense. Now the question is, why are these people missing in the first place? I think there's two ways you can see it. First is that they're the victims that we read about in Tales. Second is that they're victims of Vanny. Now, I could go either way on this. Obviously, them being the Tales victims makes sense. But them being Vanny's victims would lend itself to a theory that I have that Glitchtrap and Vanny are trying to recreate Afton's experiments in the Pizzaplex, which is what the Endo Daycare is, like, showing us. Because there's all these references to, like, nightmares and Nightmarione. I think you can tie that back to Afton's nightmare experiments and say, hey, in this modern era, Glitchtrap and Vanny are conducting Afton's nightmare experiments through the use of the Nightmarion's staff bots. And maybe they use the scooper, too, that we see in Ruin, to get, like, the remnant or agony from these victims, where their spirits are put inside the wet floor bots once they're done. Not really that much evidence for that theory, but, Mangle DCI, this is the theory that the DCI people just possess Mangle. Pretty unlikely. Mike Dyscalculia. If Ard was here, I think we all know where he would put this. So in his honor, I shall put this in Andrew Pizza tier. If you weren't here, this theory says that Michael in the movies can't count. And that's, yeah. Mimic Moon. This is the theory that Sleepy Moon in Secret of the Mimic is just another costume that M2 wears. I don't like this theory. I get the evidence for it, and I'm not saying it's impossible. I just don't think it's that likely, you know? I think the story and mystery of Sleepy Moon works a lot better if it's the employee who starved to death. But it being Mimic works. Teen DCI. This is the theory that the, what's it called? The DCI victims we see in Save Them in FNAF 2 are teenagers as opposed to children like the missing children incident victims are. A big piece of this evidence is the movie. I don't think this is impossible, and it does solve a problem I have with FNAF 2, which is that, like, there's not really anywhere William could hide the bodies during the day. In, 1985, there's the safe room in that Freddy's. This Freddy's doesn't have that. So I think the DCI works a lot better if they are just, like, teenagers who broke into the place and got killed by William. I think that works pretty well. We just don't know enough about the DCI kids to say what happens to them, so I'm going to put this in 50-50. Yeah. Finally, Toys Killers. I actually don't know what this one is. It is the theory that the toy animatronics were designed by William to abduct, lure, and hunt children so they can kill them. Posits that they succeeded in their purpose, and the bodies in Save Them are the result of those murders. No, I don't think they are. Phone Guy kind of tells us it's the opposite, so this one's going to go in very unlikely. Essentially, it's saying that they're the, what's it called? They're the twisted ones. Yeah, that's pretty silly. All right, now we're done. We have officially updated the theories tier list to include those new theories. I'm sure it's going to get updated, what's it called? I'm sure it's going to get updated within the next few days, but I'm not going to update it after that. I just wanted to get this done with. Plus, we got Miss Mike Dyscalculia. So, next time we see Ard, we should tell him we added that. Alright, the third and final thing I wanted to do today, we're actually making pretty good time too. I want to try to get a theory into the theories wiki. I did a little bit of research into this before. What the hell is Charlie Scared? Yeah. I did a little bit of research into this before, and it seems harder than it should be. So we're going to try to figure this out. Hopefully. I want to add a new theory that I haven't seen anyone talk about, and we can discuss it here. First, we got to find out how to do this, though. Earlier, this was, like, locked, so you couldn't make theories. I don't know how we can do that, though. If it's yeah, it's still locked. Is it? They might have unlocked it. They might have unlocked it. We might be back. Can we make a new theory? I think we might be able to make a new theory. Charlie Scared. Yeah, that's gonna be on the tier list before you know it. That's gonna be on the tier list. So I don't know if the theory has to exist beforehand before we can make a page for it. Use the layout, yep. Link it in the theory glossary. It's work in progress. So I have an image for it already. Yeah, okay. Only add theories that are known within the community or have substantial evidence. They might not hold a lot of credence, yet have a significant amount of supporters. These can be added. If you've created your own theories, it must be posted as a blog post with the original theories category. Okay. Okay, so we do it on here. Original theories. Blog posts of user-created original theories. Yeah, but reliable guide is... No, they said make it here. Add the theory about Pip Bonnie being Shadow Bonnie. Yeah, if I figure out how to do this, I'll add that one and my own. Yeah, so I think it's saying we can add theories we create. If you've created your own theory, it must be posted as a blog post. So I think we can do it. We just have to do it on here. Yeah, because like I've never heard of Blob Cassidy. Eliza Help wanted to, so we make it here. Create blog post. So this is the theory, right? I think it's possible. I had this thought in the shower the other day. I think it's possible that the princess from Princess Quest is F10N4/M1. The reason I say this is because the princess is golden yellow, the same color as the sun. Fiona and F10N4 are both associated with the sun. And their foil is the moon, who is associated with rabbits. In the let me pull this up actually, because this is pretty much where all my evidence comes from. FNAF Help Wanted 2 mural. So in the Help Wanted 2 mural from the DLC, I know it's kind of bad quality, but whoops. I didn't just change anything, did I? Okay. You can see on one half there's the sun and the bear. And on the other is the rabbit and the moon. Secret of the Mimic makes it a point to say that Fiona is represented by sun. Then, since this is split in half, if we look at the other side, we have a rabbit and moon. Glitch Trap, moon. Sun. Dreadbear? My theory covers that F10N4 is both the princess and Dreadbear. Maybe I should... I don't know. Is there an option to debunk theories or just make theories? I think there is, but I don't want to do that yet, just because I want to follow the rules. So, the way I see it is, in the modern era, there's M2 on the left, M1 on the right. M2 is Glitch Trap and is represented by the moon. M1 is the sun and is represented by Fredbear, but in this case it would be Dreadbear. Now, in the Curse of Dreadbear, Fazbear Entertainment makes it a point to say that this has no ulterior motive. Obviously they're lying. Fazbear Entertainment made Curse of Dreadbear for a specific reason. In some of the game over screens, it says, "Where am I?" Blah, blah, blah. And the Easter egg in Night 3 of Danger Keep Out is scanning for glitches. I think that's what this was made for. I think Fazbear Entertainment created the Curse of Dreadbear to scan for Glitch Trap and kill him. I think they did this by creating a specific antivirus, Dreadbear. I think they made Dreadbear using the M1/F10N4 program. And then I think when they create the mobile port of Help Wanted, which we know is an in-universe port thanks to one of Security Breach's duffel bag messages, Princess Quest is created. I think they then used that Dreadbear code, M1F10, to create the princess, using the memories maybe not the memories, the information and data of Cassidy/Golden Freddy. That's why Princess Quest 1 and 2 so heavily parallel Cassidy, right? In Curse of Dreadbear, there's that Easter egg of Dreadbear rising from the Red Lake. That seems to continue the story, narratively speaking, of Golden Freddy, where they rise in a new form and they have a new purpose, to hunt down Glitchtrap. Glitchtrap symbolizes William Afton. He's not literally William Afton, obviously. Maybe not obviously. This parallels the relationship between Cassidy and William Afton. Glitchtrap, William. Cassidy, Dreadbear. Right? They're both foils. They're foils. Cassidy wants William dead. Dreadbear wants Glitchtrap dead. What do we think of that, chat? In the same way that you can take the M2 code, feed it William Afton's memories of his victims, and that's how you get Glitchtrap. I think you can do the same thing with M1's code, feed it the history and story of Golden Freddy and Cassidy. That's how you get Dreadbear and the Princess. The Princess in Princess Quest 2 follows the story of Cassidy in Ultimate Custom Night, right? She meets with the Red King, who Help 1 and 2's files calls Old Man Consequences. She meets with him. He tells her to rest. And unlike the real Cassidy, she does not rest. She goes into the Freddy Fazbear virtual experience and then frees Vanessa. I think that's very, in my opinion, I think that's very convincing. Yeah, Old Man Consequences. I think it's really convincing. But I don't know how we're going to write that. I don't know how we're going to write that in the wiki, because, like, I had to explain a lot of the steps, and the wiki wants, like, pure evidence. A lot of the evidence I brought up is, like, thematic parallels. So I don't know how we're going to get that across, but we're going to try. We're going to try. Okay. How does one do this? All right, let's go back to the screen. So, first of all, what do we call this theory? I was originally going to call it F10 Princess, but I feel like we have to involve Dreadbear in there somehow. Maybe, you know what we could do? We could call it an antivirus, right? In FNAF AR's trailer, there's the mysterious C virus. What if the C virus is F10N4? Just like how Glitchtrap is a virus, F10 is the antivirus. And she wants, oh my god, and she wants to work to kill Glitchtrap so she can purify M2 so it can turn back into David. We're getting somewhere, chat. We're getting somewhere. All right, F10 antivirus. How do you add text to it? How do you add text? I just want to make sure we're on the same screen. Oops. I had it correct the first time. So can I add text to this? Okay. All right. Now, I know they have like a format for how they want this to be. Let me make sure. Does it show up yet? Or do I have to like save it? Okay, so we have to create the blog post first. There's a format for how they want this. Helpful templates. I know they said somewhere else that you can format it like a theory page, and that's what the other blogs do, so we're gonna do that. Is it just this? Into the editor. Source editing? Yeah. I think this is what they want. Yeah, I think this is just the format. But if you want to paste it in chat, that's fine. All right, title 1, theory name. F10 antivirus. Like, I've edited wiki pages before, but never on this website. So we're going to see how that works. Your image.png. So do I have to, like, add it? Let me play around with this, just 'cause if it has to go into my files, then I don't want you guys to see that. Upload. I do have the image for this, although it's called Princess F10. Let me make a new one. Maybe I should... Oh, I should probably make a new version of this image with, like, Dreadbear in it. Yeah. We'll just do the princess image for now. I'll go back and do a new one that has Dreadbear in it. Let me hurry up so you guys don't get bored staring at my face. What do you want the description? The princess from Princess Quest in front of the F10N4 machine. Alright, let's switch back to views so you guys can see what I'm seeing. So here's the image. Insert. No, we need to do a caption first. Well, no, they want a caption separately, so we can just insert that. So if I do the image, am I going to have to, like... The other, I don't know. Because the way it's formatted here doesn't have... It has yourimage.png. I had to upload that, so can we just say... Yeah, can we just say, like... what the image is called? Just Princess F10 dot JPEG. Like, does that work? No, I want it as a PNG. I don't care. Is that gonna show anything though? Because I had to upload the image. Hang on. Let me try this again. See, this is why I don't, like, upload to wikis that much, just because it's, like, they make it such a hassle. Okay, so it does exist. They do have it. No! No, wait, there it is. Okay, that's the image. Princess F10F.jpg. And now I have to redo the... No! Okay, hang on. So I think it's just... Oops. Wait, we did it. Okay, I don't know how I did that, but I got the format. Okay. We're getting there. We're getting there. Theory. I got the formatting somehow. F10. Oh, Jesus, Siri, you scared the... F10 antivirus. So then if we go to visual, there it is. All right, we're getting there, chat. We're getting there. We're getting there. All right, source. It was uploaded. I do think it was uploaded. So we can just say princess f10.png. No, it's a JPEG. Is that going to work? There it is. Okay, chat, we're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. Okay. Image caption. Not required. We're going to do one. Most of the captions on the FNAF Theories wiki are, like, a little jokey, so we could do, like... What do we do? Like... Do we just do a basic? Like... The princess... stands... in front of the F10N4 machine. Do you just do that? And then source. Okay, we don't have a source because I just made this up. So we can just get rid of that. And then it should... There it is, chat. There it is. We're getting there. Alright. Short description of your theory here. This theory I don't know why I keep saying... I'm saying theory, not S-I-R-I. This theory proposes that the princess from Princess Quest and Dreadbear from Curse of Dreadbear are Oops. Chat, what do we say? Do we say they're like are creations from Fazbear Entertainment using the F10N4 program? We should say M1/F10N4 program to eliminate glitch trap. What do you mean theory name? Do they want like a theory name in here? Yeah, just creations. I think that works. Here, where's like the just show me a random.
Okay.
Not you. Just show me a random theory, not theory. Okay, we'll copy this formatting. So I guess we say F10 antivirus is the theory, and then we just bold this. Yep. Alright, this works. So, honestly, I'm going to be completely honest. Hi, Goose. I think the main reason why I want to do this, why I want to get... There it is. Why I want to make a page for the theory, not the main reason. I obviously want to spread this theory because I do think it's really solid. I think it would be really cool if we could get this theory in the theories tier list, just so we could have like, hey, we made that theory. I think that'd be really cool. Alright, now we get into the hard part. Evidence, problems, related, conflicting. So, problem, I'm assuming I just do this, yeah. Problem. So, there is a big problem here. Fazbear Entertainment, I don't think they care about getting rid of Glitch Trap to the extent where they would go to this much effort to create the Princess and Dread Bear and do all that. I don't think they would. So we can mention that. Fazbear Entertainment most likely would not. What does it mean by problem? Like, stuff that goes against the theory, pretty much. What are you doing? We finished the timeline. Now I'm just creating a page for, hopefully, one day, a theory. Yeah, it is complex. I explained it a lot. If you just want to skip back, that's fine. I mean, I'm also just typing out the evidence here, so you can just stick around. Fazbear Entertainment most likely would not care about purging glitch trap to the extent where they would create... to the extent where they would... But, no, never mind. Fazbear Entertainment most likely would not care about purging glitch trap to the extent where they would create a whole DLC and game within their mobile port to get rid of... Just a second. Yeah. I do think that's a pretty big flaw in this theory, is that Fazbear Entertainment doesn't really care about safety, so I don't know why they would care that much about getting rid of Glitch Trap. FNAF 1 or FNAF 2? FNAF 1. FNAF 1. Alright, chat, if you guys want to... We're going to do problems first, just because it's easier. If you guys want to list in chat any problems you have with this theory, I won't take it personally, trust me. If you guys list them there, that'd be really helpful. I'm trying to think of some more in my head. That's why Fazbear Entertainment sucks? True. Yeah, Fazbear Entertainment most likely would not care about purging glitch trap to the extent where they would create a whole DLC and game with their mobile port to get rid of it. That works. That works. Any more problems? And then I'm kind of worried about whenever we get to like related theories and conflicting, just because I don't know how to link to other pages. Don't have any problems. Thank you. Please, guys, rip this theory to shreds. We need to get to the bottom of this. I don't know. We can come back to it. So first we should mention... Okay, how do we explain the evidence, though? That's the hard part. God, this is really hard. This is hard. I understand why I didn't do this before. Yeah, you gotta find a problem, but oh my god. Like, I have the evidence. I explained the evidence to you guys. I just don't know how we can explain that here. I know how to add an image. I think the way they want you to do this on, like, wikis is by linking to other images. See, the thing is, I don't know how to search for images, because I'm sure there is an image of the mural. Yeah, evidence can be from anywhere, just anywhere. Evidence, problems, just from anywhere. If you guys come up with anything, please just throw it in chat. See, I don't, like, surely there's an image of the mural somewhere, right? How do you search for stuff here? All pages? No, images. That's gotta be it. It's gotta be under images. Yes, okay. They're not really labeled, though. Ah, Goose, thank you for showing up. Just list games, characters, and dialogue? Where? In, like, the, What do you mean? What the heck? Okay, like, see, some of these theories, like, if I ever see that in the theories tier list, we're putting that straight at the bottom. Who's saying Sister Location 2023? How do you, like... I don't know. I want, like... in evidence? How would that work? Like... Okay, I guess, like, an easy starting point would be... the princess in... We can just say the princess. The princess is a golden yellow color, much like the sun. F10 and 4 is... Do we say repeatedly, or do we just say associated? I think we just say associated. Associated with the sun. Character. Let me just say in Secret of the Mimic. In Secret of the Mimic. Possibly drawing a connection between the two. We also should mention her Sword of Light. And carries a Sword of Light. I think that's a good start. The princess is a golden yellow color, much like the sun, and carries a Sword of Light. F10 and 4 is associated with the sun character in Secret of the Mimic, possibly drawing a connection between the two. That's the easiest one. Doesn't Dreadbear have yellow eyes? Dreadbear has yellow eyes. That could be another... Okay. Well, no, I would say those are mostly yellow. Those are yellow. Okay, that's a good piece of evidence. I think we add that. Also, we can just type in here. That's much better. Dreadbear has yellow eyes, possibly signifying a... Did I spell that right? Surely it would tell me, right? It would tell me. Okay, possibly signifying a connection between him and the princess. Okay, we're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. It seems... I'm gonna put this here. It seems like Fazbear Entertainment created the Curse of Dreadbear DLC for the specific reason of purging Glitch Trap as evident by the scanning for glitches secret in night 03 of, is it like danger keep out? You guys are watching me lock in here. Danger keep out. And then I will link to like the wiki stuff. Hi, Ard. You're on the train, damn. Bro is on a side quest. Ard, you missed it. We updated the, what's it called? The thing, okay, yeah, we updated this. The theories tier list. And you missed the timeline. Bro missed everything. Yeah, they added Mike Dyscalculia. They added it. Oops, it's a hair. And we put it in Andrew Pizza tier, just for you. I know that's what you would have wanted. Now we are currently adding, we're creating a theory on the theories wiki. Or at least a blog that can hopefully get turned into a theory. Alright, so here's what we have so far. This theory, F10 antivirus, states that the Princess from Princess Quest and Dreadbear from Curse of Dreadbear are creations from Fazbear Entertainment using the M1/F10N4 program to eliminate glitch trap. The evidence is that the princess is a golden yellow color, much like the sun, and carries a sword of light. F10N4 is associated with the sun character in Secret of the Mimic, possibly drawing a connection between the two. It seems like Fazbear Entertainment created the Curse of Dreadbear DLC for the specific reason of purging glitch trap, as evident by the scanning for glitches secret in Night 3 of Danger Keep Out. Dreadbear has yellow eyes, possibly signifying a connection between him and the princess. The only problem we've thought of so far is that Fazbear Entertainment would most likely not care about purging glitch trap to an extent where they would create a whole DLC in-game within their mobile port to get rid of him. Actually, I'll add on to that. As they have shown to not care about the safety of others. Alright, good start. Now we gotta mention the... Okay, here. It is possible that they created the character of Dreadbear to directly... what's the word I'm looking for, chat? It's possible they created the character of Dreadbear to directly... as a direct foil for glitch trap. This could parallel, I know people love the parallel word, this could parallel the antagonistic relationship between William Afton and Cassidy / Golden Freddy. Alright, I think that's a good segue. It is possible that they created the character of Dreadbear as a direct foil for glitch trap. This could parallel the antagonistic relationship between William Afton and Cassidy / Golden Freddy. Alright, see ya. Safe luck on your travels on the train. As Ard left, Joey came back. Alright, so I added this. Added all this. What is next? I think we should mention the parallels between Dreadbear and Golden Freddy. So, not building off, I don't like that. If Dreadbear is meant to parallel Golden Freddy, the Easter egg of Dreadbear rising from the lake could be a symbolic continuation of his story with Dreadbear. No, we'll just leave it there. Now, I do want to change this to Easter egg. Okay, we added this. If Dreadbear is meant to parallel Golden Freddy, the Easter egg of Dreadbear rising from the lake could be a symbolic continuation of his story. And then I do want to add this. Maybe not here. I don't know. Joel, you gotta go? No. I'm using the F10M4 program along with the memories/data of Cassidy/Golden Freddy. Okay, and then I want to add this here. Glitchtrap seems to be a mix of the M2 program with the memories of William Afton's victims. How do you come up with theories like this? I just stand in the shower and think about random stuff. Alright, you guys have to go soon. Whenever you guys leave, I'll just, I don't know, continue this. Hi, 123. How you doing? Right now, we are cooking up a theory. Oh, you got a new profile picture. I like it, I like it. Very fitting for the channel. This seems to show that it is possible to create digital... What's the word? It's not like parallel or replica. It's like... I guess just recreations of past characters. Yeah, we'll just leave there. By doing so. Possibly being what the princess is. And then I do want to bring something else up too. Where is it? There is a... What's the exact name of it? It's like FNAF Where Am I Easter egg. It's like in Cursive Dreadbear on the Game Over screen. There's you're not gonna be sick for 5 days. 5 nights, you mean? Oh, what is it? There's like... One of the texts says, like, where am I? What am I searching? Might have to, like, pull up a video for this if we can't find it. There it is. Hey, someone made a FNAF theory about this. We might have found more evidence, guys. We can steal from this. Okay, okay. So they agree that it's Dreadbear and Princess. I do think it's Golden Freddy, too. We should probably add that, too, in the C-Virus. I don't know about the wet floor bots. I don't know what that means. But yeah, this is good. This is good. Alright. Alright, this is good. This is good. This is good. We're not crazy. We're not crazy. Someone else thinks this. Okay, okay. Okay, okay, I like this. I like this. I like this. I like this. Alright, where is that Easter egg I'm thinking of? Where is the... Am I really just going to have to watch a video one time? Alright, chat. Who's ready to watch some YouTube? FNAF Curse of Dreadbear all Easter eggs. I know there's a video that has this. I know there's a video that has this. Red Sky, Pirate Ship, Dancing Vanny, Captain Foxy. Actually, is it going to have it in this video? It might not. Peeking down the hallway, scanning for glitches, clown... Oh no, don't tell me we're not going to be able to find it. Guys, I swear I'm not crazy. This exists. It exists. Yeah, so we, earlier in the stream, we went through the whole, not YouTube, we went through my FNAF timeline, and then updated the theories tier list. Oh, come on, there's no way no one's documented this Easter egg. It exists. Come on. Oh, that's another good detail we could mention. The Easter egg of Dreadbear looming over the hub was replaced by Glitchtrap dancing. That could be showing, like, that could be Glitchtrap saying, ha ha, you missed me, and, like, taunting Dreadbear. That's good, that's good, that's good. Why has no one documented this Easter egg? I need this. Please, Speed, I need this. My theory's kind of evidenceless. We'll keep this open just so I remember. Yeah, I know your IDEC. Now that you told me. Oh, come on. What? Chat, how do we find this? What if I just search FNAF where am... Because this is what it just says, where am I? Ah! Where is this thing? Bro! FNAF Curse of... I need to see this exists. I need to... There it is. Okay. They found it. They found it. Oh, Jesus. That's a lot of questions. Alright, where is it? Yeah, okay. Oh my god, I completely forgot about the I'm scared one. Yes, we found more evidence! What's up with the various text strings on the death monitor, such as where am I, don't look behind you, searching for glitches, that, I think they, yeah. And then I'm scared. Actually, hang on. Scanning for glitches. Yeah, scanning for glitches. Oh my god, dude. Chat, we're locked in. All right, it's I want to write it like as it is. I don't want to like have any miscommunication. So, scanning for glitches. All right. We found it. We found it. We found it. There's no image, which sucks. Oh, Joey, thank you for showing up, man. I appreciate it. Or woman or non-binary. Thank you for showing up. Okay, we got this. We got this. We got this. All right. We know this exists. This is good. This is good. This is good. This is good. Okay. On the game over monitor, some of the messages seem like they come from a sentient being who is... We got this, chat. Who is inside of the DLC. These messages... Maybe not messages. I feel like we do need an image of it, though. Like, I feel like an image right there would be perfect. What do we think, chat? What do we think? I'm not about to boot up help wanted just to find an image of this, but I might have to. Okay, that's probably the closest we're gonna get. Wait, what was that? Yes, thank you. Thank you. Oh my god. All right, let me save this. See, if you search hard enough, we find it. Lock in. Oh, we're locked in. It's a web file. It doesn't matter. Where am I .png. And then we add this here, I think. I think we can just do this. Wait, how do you... I think we'd have to go to the source editor for that. Where is it? Yeah, and then I think we can just insert an image. Where am I? Boop, boop. We don't need a description. Didn't pass file verification? I'm not trying to upload an image. I mean, a virus. Dude, what the heck? What the flip? Why is it not... I'm not trying to give you... Bro! Dude. I don't know if we can do this. Dude, oh my god. No, okay, it's fine. It's fine. They'll have to take my word for it. They will have to take my word for it. You guys know what I was talking about, right? Not crazy. Okay, alright. We carry on. We carry on. Speed bump, speed bump. Alright, what else? Alright, we should mention the evidence we found. So, glitch trap, glitch trap, glitch trap, glitch trap. The Easter egg of Dreadbear. See, okay, I feel like a lot of this evidence I'm bringing up here is more so just... It's more so evidence for Dreadbear representing Golden Freddy. Not as much as it is as I would have liked for it to be F10 being Dreadbear. I think that's something I didn't really think about, is that this is just evidence for Dreadbear representing Golden Freddy. But at the same time, it does play into that idea of them having an antagonistic relationship, which ties back into the mural, which I will include. So, I don't know. I think we carry on and see where it takes us. Looming over the hub. Did I put a space there? Okay. Was replaced by an Easter egg of glitch trap dancing, possibly representing Dreadbear's search. See, and again, I think this is more evidence for Dreadbear just being an antivirus, not as much being the princess or F10 and 4. Searching for glitch trap and having successfully evaded him, glitch trap dances and taunts him. Yeah, let's just carry on and see where we get. All right, we can get rid of this now. All right, Golden Freddy. I'm gonna have to not redo. I'm just gonna have to. Antivirus. This is here the Princess from Princess Quest, Dreadbear from Curse of Dreadbear, and Golden Freddy from Special Delivery. It's a sort of antivirus. All right, now we talk about the Golden Freddy evidence. In the trailer for, let's say FNAF AR, there is a mysterious C seen on the TV. This could stand for Cassidy. There was more evidence for this. This could stand for Cassidy, and could be the antivirus naming itself after the character it is mimicking. That didn't come out as strong as I thought it would have. In the trailer for FNAF AR, there is a mysterious C seen on the TV. Your dog was sniffing your foot. This could stand for Cassidy, and could be the antivirus naming itself after the character it is mimicking. I should add this. Possibly being with the princess. Possibly being with Dreadbear and the princess. God, this is so much harder than I thought it would be. Holy cannoli. Alright. I think this is good. Maybe we should, like, add more to this. Golden Freddy could have... Okay, I'll change this to F10. F10 and 4 could have followed the glitch trap virus into the special delivery, not special delivery, it's the Fazbear Funtime service. Fazbear Funtime service system, and could be taking the form of Golden Freddy to combat him. I thought of an issue with this, but I don't remember what it was. Oh, bye, Club Penguin. Thank you for showing up. Okay. We're making good progress, but I don't... There's got to be something that, like, we're missing, right? Yeah, it's only you now. It's only you now, Idek. I should bring up this. I feel like this is our strongest piece of evidence, honestly. The stained glass window in the help wanted to secret of the Mimic update shows. Alright, now we have to describe this. Shows the sun and moon along with Fredbear and Bonnie being separated down the middle. This could imply that they are foils to each other, with, I guess, M1/F10 and 4 being the sun and Fredbear, aka the princess and Dreadbear, and M2 being the moon and Bonnie, aka, I guess just Moon, as he is. Okay, I could be wrong about this. Is there any time, is Moon ever associated with the Mimic? I know in, okay, well, as he is the natural opposition to the sun, aka Moon, and Glitch Trap. And then I think a piece of evidence against that is Moon is more associated with Edwin than he is with M2, which could hurt the idea that the mural in Help Wanted 2 is meant to represent M1 and M2. Yeah, I swear there was a point where they are symbolized. Like, Moon does symbolize Mimic, but I don't remember where. But it makes sense, right? It makes sense. I can't think if there's anything like a solid point where it is, you know. Alright, this is good though. This is good. I think that's all we've gotten from the mural. I think that's all we got from there. See, and like there probably is a piece of evidence that I'm forgetting about. But this is really it. I'm gonna read through it just to see if there is anything I'm forgetting. Alright. F10 antivirus is the theory that the princess from Princess Quest, Dreadbear from Curse of Dreadbear, and Golden Freddy from I Spelled It Special Wrong. It's a good thing I read through that then. From Special Delivery are creations from Fazbear Entertainment using the M1/F10N4 program, along with the, just put a comma there, along with the memories/data of Golden Freddy/Cassidy to eliminate Glitch Trap as a sort of antivirus. The evidence. Glitch Trap seems to be a mix of the M2 program with the memories of Willie Mafton's victims. This seems to show, I'll change it to this could show, just to make it sound better. This could show that it is possible to create digital recreations of past characters by mixing a Mimic program with memories, possibly being what Dreadbear and the Princess are. Yeah. The stained glass window in the Help Wanted 2 Secret of the Mimic update shows the sun and moon, along with Fredbear and Bonnie, being separated down the middle. This could imply that they are foils to each other, with M1/F10N4 being the Sun and Fredbear, aka the Princess and Dreadbear, and M2 being the Moon and Bonnie, aka Moon, as he is the natural opposition to the Sun, and Glitchtrap. I'm actually going to put this in a parentheses just so it reads a little better. The Princess is a golden yellow color, much like the Sun, and carries a sword of light. F10N4 is associated with the Sun character in Secret of the Mimic, possibly drawing a connection between the two. It seems like Fazbear Entertainment created the Curse of Dreadbear DLC for the specific reason of purging Glitchtrap, as evident by the scanning for glitches Easter egg in Night 3 of Danger Keep Out. It is possible they created the character of Dreadbear as a direct foil for Glitchtrap. This could parallel the antagonistic relationship between William Afton and Cassidy/Golden Freddy. On the Game Over monitor, some of the messages seem like they come from a sentient being who is inside of the DLC. This could be F10N4 getting used to her new digital realm, as she has been shown to have a, what's the word? Not like a consciousness, but like, as she's been shown to be aware of her surroundings. We'll just say that. If Dreadbear is meant to parallel Golden Freddy, the Easter egg of Dreadbear rising from the lake could be a symbolic continuation of his story. Dreadbear has yellow eyes, possibly signifying a connection between him and the princess. The Easter egg of Dreadbear looming over the hub was replaced by an Easter egg of Glitchtrap dancing, possibly representing Dreadbear searching for Glitchtrap and having Glitchtrap, having successfully evaded him, dances and taunts him. F10N4 could have followed the Glitchtrap virus into the Fazbear Funtime service system and could be taking the form of Golden Freddy to combat him. In the trailer for FNAF AR, there is a mysterious C seen on the TV. This could stand for Cassidy and could be the antivirus naming itself after the character it is mimicking. I'm going to add a problem. A lot of the evidence is here. A lot of the points a lot of the points for this theory lack direct evidence and more so work as a narrative rather than a, what's the word? Rather than a comprehensive group of evidence? Rather than a comprehensive interpretation of evidence. Fazbear Entertainment most likely would not care about purging Glitchtrap to the extent where they would create a whole DLC and game within their mobile port to get rid of him, as they have been shown to not care about the safety of others, and Moon is more associated with Edwin than he is with M2, which could hurt the idea that the mural in Help Wanted 2 is meant to represent M1 and M2. That's pretty solid. I think maybe just throw in like an image of the mural and this, and then I think we're good. Alright. I'm going to be honest. I gotta use the bathroom, so I think I'm just going to end stream. Yeah, Fazbear Entertainment wouldn't care to the extent where they would go this far. But you never know. It might not even be Fazbear Entertainment who made this. Like, who made the F10 who made the Princess and Dreadbear. It could just be F10 herself manifesting, but I feel like that's a little extreme even for her. And then, what's it called? But, yeah, never mind, I was going to say something else. Yeah, and then, so, conflicting and related theories, I'm going to have to look into that. I'm going to finish this off stream once I come back from the bathroom. And then I might make, like, just, like, a community post about this or something. Yeah, I might just make, like, a community post saying, hey, guys, I finished this, what do you think? Yeah. We did good, though. We did good. That was loud. We got through the timeline, we updated the tier list, and we started this. I'm going to finish it off stream, So this was very productive. IDEC, I know you're the only person here, so I can't really say thank you guys, but, you know, thank you for being here. To everyone who was here, I appreciate them for being here. I'm going to be honest, I don't know when the next stream will be because I'm out of ideas. Maybe we can do this, but for, like, other theories we come up with. That could be cool. Especially now that I know how to, like, do this. So, thank you, IDEC, and if you're watching this as just, like, a VOD, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here. I'm going to go now, and I will see you in the next stream and or video because I am getting close to finishing the Edwin video. Peace. Goodbye.